Yeah.
What up, guys? This is my boy Alec Signs right here. He's honestly one of my best homies in the inner circle, and just an awesome dude. So, brother, before we dive in, give him just like a little bit of a background on you, and then we can rip it.
Yeah. So a little background on me. I'm 24 years old right now. Been doing high ticket for, I'd say cumulatively about a year. However, I've known about it for a little bit longer than a year just because I was kind of procrastinating on it. Basically, discovered high ticket sales and um, discovered it in college back in like 2021, I think, and never really did anything. I was like, I don't know if I want to do high ticket. Should I go the 9 to 5 route, whatever. Ultimately decided I didn't want to go the 9 to 5 route. And that's kind of how I got into high ticket. And it took me a little bit to get in, but I've been doing it for about a year now, based out of Texas, Dallas to be specific. But um, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Let's go, man. Cool. Well, I guess we'll kick it off, man. Like, what? So you and I actually knew each other because I used to coach for an old sales group. That's how we like initially met. And then I built, my inner circle and stuff like that, or Trey and I built the inner circle. So what initially made you like want to join just like the inner circle overall, would you say?
Yeah. So okay, so what made me want to join the inner circle? Well, being, part of I learned a lot from you back, when we did the other sales group, and you put a lot of time, energy, and efforts into making sure that everyone that, reached out for help was helped. And so that really kind of spoke to itself. So I'd learned a lot from you prior, taking a lot of value from just, hearing about your own journey and Trey's journey as well. And really, once you guys started building that inner circle, I remember like back in, this was probably like in November, October, when you and Trey built the like $50 a month Discord type of thing. I paid for that. I was like, all right, I want to learn and whatever. And just being in that, I was already learning a lot from you and Trey. And then whenever you guys decided to, structure the inner circle differently or whatever, I was like, it's a no-brainer. Like Trey would just call me out of the blue. You would call me out of the blue and just be like, hey, how's it going? You need help with anything? Like, what have you been seeing on the calls lately? And I was like, I thought it was a no-brainer. Like you guys had a lot more experience than I did and still do. And so I was like, man, if I can invest to learn from people that are already where I want to be, that I should do it because I want to shorten my learning curve and get there as quick as possible. And so really that's why I joined.
For sure. Dude, that's funny. I forgot you joined like the OG 48 a month
Yeah.
group. We scrapped that since then, but dude, that's funny, man. Honestly, a lot of the guys in here came came through that, which is funny.
Yeah.
But I guess where were you when you started in the inner circle? Like, what did your situation look like then?
Yeah. So where was I when I started the inner circle? So I was actually transitioning out of my offer. I worked with a fitness company for the majority of 2022, and that's where I got a bulk of my experience. I started off as a setter for them, and kind of graduated my way into a closer. And so basically, that offer they kind of shut down their coaching program, just due to various reasons, whatever. And I so I was at a point where I was kind of making a transition from that offer to a different one, right? And I think I joined the Discord with you and Trey, and where I was at, I was just in a transition phase, and I didn't really know. I kind of had some experience. I remember talking to you and Trey. I was like, "Do I have enough experience?" And you were like, "Yeah, you definitely have more than enough. You had, well over 6 figures closed." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And so where I was like in a transition phase, and I didn't really quite know what to look for in an offer. I was still kind of a newbie beginner, and you and Trey having the experience, having much more experience than I do in maturity in the market, I was like, well, reaching out to you guys, asking y'all for advice. And I remember where I was. So I was in that transition phase, and I remember Trey. I talked to Trey, and I kind of asked him for some input on what I should do because I had three potential offers that I could go close for, and I was like, should I do all three? Should I do one? What should I do? And I remember talking to Trey, and he kind of gave me that guidance there of as to what I should do. So already, that was, and I wasn't even a part of the inner circle at that point. I think he just did it for free, so it was super helpful to kind of make that decision. And as far as like before being in the inner circle, I think best month I ever did in commissions was like was like 4K. And then so obviously where I'm at now is much in a much different situation. But yeah. So that was where I was before. Best month ever was like about 4K.
Fire.
Maybe 4.5. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. It's like still kind of a newbie. Had closed some decent revenue, but just not on like the
Mhm.
best offers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I guess what I guess where are you at now? But also I'm curious to hear like how the ascension's gone in the inner circle. Like how the growth has looked. I already know for the most part. I'm just
Yeah.
curious like what you would have to say, like everybody watching too.
So yeah, where I'm at now, I joined a new offer. So I did an offer from November, December to March or March, pretty much April. Actually, yeah, we'll just call it April, March or December to April, we'll call it, right? And I was doing that offer, did the most I could out of it. I think the best month I ever hit on that offer was about 7K in commissions. So it was definitely, a step up from that 4K. So already, you know, made a significant difference. But being a part of the group with you and Trey, I think something that's really kind of like a sleeper, or not like a sleeper, but something that I really learned being in high ticket is like your network is your net worth. And if you know people that know people that, you and Trey obviously know more people in this space than I do. And so you and Trey came with an offer or a job opportunity in April, end of March. And luckily I interviewed and I landed the offer, and I hit my first 3 months on that offer. I did back to back to back 15K months. So um, that's where I'm at now. Average is 15K. It's July, and I was gone for about a week and a half, so I'm probably not gonna hit 15K this month. But uh, whenever I'm taking calls, that's what the average has been. So it's been, I mean, obviously doubled my commissions, and that's just like 15's that's like kind of like the standard now, whereas in the past the standard was kind of lower. So that's where I'm at now. Obviously would not be here without you and Trey. You guys have been really helpful in terms of the coaching and the guidance, just making yourselves available, reaching out weekly, making sure that everything's going well. If there's anything I need help with, making sure that's taken care of. And so yeah, I would say like you guys have been extremely helpful, and you guys reach out and make sure that we're taken care of, which really just speaks kind of dividends to itself. So yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So 15K a month, that's paces at like 180K a year, which is big time, dude.
Yeah,
Definitely more than 9 to 5 would have made. It took us a while to get there, but
for sure.
that's fire. That's really cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were so before you joined the inner circle, what were some of your struggles? Like what were you struggling with that kind of made you also want to join?
I think I don't know. I felt like I kind of knew what I was doing, but not exactly, if that makes sense. Like I felt like I didn't really quite know what I was doing. Kind of know what I'm doing, like what you're looking for, and, sales call and things of that sort. So I didn't really know exactly what I felt. I felt just inconfident, I guess, in what I was doing, if that, makes any sense. And I think that's kind of why I joined, just because I didn't really quite feel confident in what I was doing. And I really wanted to learn, like, from you and Trey, who knew what y'all were doing, because you don't make good money on accident, especially in sales. Like in sales, you are compensated for the value that you bring. And, if you're good at what you do, then you're going to make more money. And so I just wasn't, I felt like I wasn't at that level to be making 15K a month, right? I just didn't have that skill set to be able to go out and actually do that. Right. And so I think really what I've learned from you and Trey is like, I feel like a lot more confident on calls, and I know what I'm doing, and I know exactly how to conduct myself, and, what we're doing on these calls. And I think that's been a really big transformation for me personally, is just knowing what I'm doing on calls, and, being confident in myself and my abilities. Wouldn't be there without having invested in myself and learning from people that also know what they're doing.
Totally. For sure. And I guess I'm curious, what would you say, like people on the outside, people who are either looking to get into remote sales or maybe even more specific, looking to get into like the inner circle, what sort of advice, guidance, and like tips would you give those people?
Well, people that are on the fence, I mean, I if you're on the fence, if you're already, I guess it's a little bit different. If you're already in sales and you're on the fence, then I don't like you have, I don't know. If you're already in sales and you're on the fence, like you have no reason to be on the fence. And what I mean by that is like the way my mind works is like someone, the reason why we work and the reason why we do sales is because we want to make money, right? Like, sure, I want to help people and great and all that, but at the kind of the root of it is like we want to make money. And so I think the way I kind of look at it is like if there's someone that is making more money, then if I have an opportunity to pay them, I want to pay them so I can get to that level, right? It's the same thing with sports. If we'll use you know, I'll just use tennis as an example, Wimbledon, right? Those guys that play in the Wimbledon final, they're very good. How do they invest a lot into coaching, training, nutritionists, physiotherapists, because these people can help them get to where they want to go. They can help them get to that championship level. And so the way my mind works is like there's someone that is at that championship level where I want to be. I might be able to figure it out on my own, sure, maybe, but I would much rather guarantee, and I would just rather short track my learning curve to that. I want to get there as quickly as I possibly can. And so if you're on the fence and you're already in sales, do you want to get there quicker or slower? That's really it. Do you want to pay with time or money? Right. And that's kind of the way I look at it. And I would rather just shorten my learning curve and get there as quickly as possible. So um, find a good mentor. Caden and Trey are great. Sure, there's other people out there, whatever. I personally like Caden and Trey. So invest in yourself, shorten your learning curve. That's what I would say to people on the fence. And then people on the fence that aren't even in sales, right? I would say if if you're not in sales and you're on the fence, I just like look at your alternatives, look at the best case and worst case. Absolute, absolute best case scenario. Just weigh that out for yourself and you know, boom, what is the best case? What is the maximum upside? And then you have to also look at like what is the potential downside, right? Like potential downside is, I guess it doesn't work out, but I don't know why it wouldn't work out. Otherwise, if you just don't show up and don't put in the work, that's the only reason why it wouldn't work for you. So, just look at the potential pros, look at the potential cons. If you want to do remote closing and you want to be able to travel and, you know, take calls and make pretty good money, then I think this is a great opportunity and avenue to do it. And Cade and Trey have been great mentors, so I'm very confident that they would be good mentors for anyone that's new to sales as well. So that's what I would say. Long-winded answer, but that's what I would say.
Oh, good one, man. Good one for sure. I guess do you have any closing thoughts? Anything else you'd like to add, maybe good or bad?
Um, no, I'd say, literally nothing but good things to say about, the inner circle. uh, Trey will just call me out of blue. Caden, you'll, text me out of blue, call me out of blue, whatever, just to check in and see how things are going. And I know that you guys are there if we ever need help. And there's a lot of coaching programs out there, and there's a lot of mediocre coaching programs out there. There's a few good ones, I would say, and I think this is definitely one of the good ones, just because of how much you guys, you know, care and want to make sure that we're all taken care of. So yeah.
Well,
And
cool,
I,
man.
I would say like another thing too is like you and Trey are now my friends, which is pretty cool. Like meeting these online people, like online money Twitter people, is just it's cool. Like remember I went to Phoenix for the TCU versus Michigan game, and I had an extra ticket. I don't know anyone in Phoenix, and I was like, Caden, I know you're in Phoenix. You want to go to the game with me? So it's like, it's just it's it's been it's been a privilege and a pleasure getting to work with you and Trey and just becoming friends with you guys.
Dude, likewise, man. And you'll be out here for the meetup in September, which is gonna be freaking baller, man.
I know.
For anybody watching, we basically got a mansion, and we're all gonna link up and have a blast and mastermind and stuff. So it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
But heck yeah,
Mm,
man. Appreciate you doing this, dude. You're the man. Keep crushing it. Keep doing your thing. And yeah, man, you're awesome. Appreciate you doing this again.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, man. Later.
All right. See ya.
What's up, guys? Caden here, and I hope you enjoyed this interview. If you did and you want to get into remote closing or appointment setting, and you want to do so by being coached by me and Trey one-on-one until you become successful, book a call below. There's going to be a link somewhere in the description here where you can book in directly with myself or Trey to talk about our coaching program and how we can work together one-on-one to get you to $7,000 to $25,000 per month with remote sales. So if you're interested, you want to talk about the coaching program and working with us directly to get you to your goals, book a call below and we'll see you soon.